Nothing like home sweet home for LeBron and the Lakers, returning after a week-long trip. They own a 28-9 record at Crypto.com Arena, third best home market in the league. And it may be overcast in L.A., but you can't blame Luka's confidence rocking the shades. He's averaging over 38 and 8 this month, just in time for the Lakers' playoff push. A massive showdown with the Rockets.
Such a blessing to play for this organization that's had some of the greatest players to ever play the game.
Gets it to Fish at the buzzer. Got it! Bryant for the win. Bang! 5 seconds to go. Reeves on the drive. Inside layup. He backs it in. And the Lakers win a thriller.
All the names, all the trophies, it's a big motivation to be a part of something this big. I'm very excited to start working and getting a championship.
Still trying to build that chemistry amongst the three of us to help, the team be successful. And I think tonight it just showed that when we play the right way and trust one another, especially offensively, we can have, open looks on almost every possession.
Just 2 weeks, 8 games remain in the Lakers' regular season schedule. These Rockets, twice down the stretch they will see, both of them at home. Tip-off tonight is coming up at 7 o'clock right here on Spectrum Sportsnet. The Lakers have won the last 6 meetings at home. Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers, Chris McGee, James Worthy, Robert Horry. We got Brez joining us a little later, Mike Trudell, Allie Clifton's down at the arena. We'll talk to her. And Robert Horry is back from China. You were slated to be there a little longer. You said, I need to be back for the Lakers-Rockets game.
Of course, man. Classic matchup.
But still pay me the same.
Shh, don't tell nobody I said that.
Good to have you back, Rob.
Thanks for being back.
They ran out of money to pay him. Those invoices kept coming.
Said, Rob, I'm broke. You got to send you back.
He kept handing those invoices out. And when the money ran out, he came on back home.
When you travel like Rob, though, travel's easy, man. First class, he's laid out. Easy.
He's a magic carpet to travel like Rob, man.
All right, let's get to it. 13 days left in the regular season, and there's still a lot to be decided in the Western Conference standings. Only OKC has clinched a playoff spot, best record in the Western Conference. They'll be at home. Houston is second and can clinch a berth with a win tonight and a Memphis loss. Lakers are currently fourth, just a game and a half behind third place Denver, but only 2.5 ahead of seventh place Minnesota. And remember, only the top 6 secure playoff bids and avoid the play-in tourney. So the Lakers got a huge win on Saturday, guys. 2-2 on that road trip. Could have been better. Could have been worse. Even with that win, they're just 5-8 in their last 13 games since LeBron injured his groin. 8 games left. How are we feeling down the stretch about this team, James?
The healthier they get, getting players back, particularly getting Rui back, they need to have their guys who've been together back. So the closer they get to that, I'm happy. The way they played on the road, I was really happy. I know playing at home is good. You want home court advantage, but I feel good about our team, on the road as well. What they're able to do in Indiana, getting that tough win that elevated them, only to be taken away from them in that tough loss to Chicago. Mm-hmm. But I think the response is what we were looking for. And the way they responded against the Grizzlies, was really good. And they kept themselves in the 4th place, I believe. The seeding is there. They got a tough schedule going out. I think the second toughest in the league. So they really got to stay focused, starting with this game at home tonight. Because
of what happened in Chicago and because of what had been happening in the last few weeks, Rob, that was a huge pressure game on the Lakers in Memphis. What a great way to bounce back.
Yeah, when you think about the standings, Memphis is fighting too.
Yeah.
They fighting for their lives.
Their coach, they're fighting so much.
Yeah, that's crazy. But and you look at the way the Lakers played in that game. In Memphis, for some reason, they don't like the Lakers. What goes on with that crowd, that team is kind of weird, but it's like the Lakers always find a way to beat Memphis. And I was so happy to see how they played against Memphis. The shot was falling. They were playing good defense, even though they gave a lot of points. But I thought at moments they played good defense on Ja.
All right, guys, let's get you to downtown L.A. Lakers reporter Mike Trudell is courtside with the latest. Mike, how we doing?
Hey, guys, welcome to downtown Los Angeles. Certainly good to be back in L.A. And you think about it, the playoffs are about to approach here. The calendar is turning from March to April tomorrow, and with that comes some increase in general intensity and vibe from really most teams in the NBA. But J.J. Redick acknowledged that that is something that he is specifically thinking about with this team as they gear up here. All of these games coming up have significance, and certainly that will be key heading into the postseason. Here's J.J. Redick.
I think it's intensified with the entire group, coaches and players. That's not to say it's like we need to talk about it every day. I know the players have talked about it with each other. We've talked about it as a group. We've talked about it as a staff. And I still think one of the hardest things in life is navigating control versus non-control. And, you know, in some ways we can control what seed we get. We can control if we make the playoffs. We have to go out and play well. Even at this stage of the season where we've had a couple bad stretches, we still can kind of control where we're seated and if we make the playoffs.
JJ, along those lines, aside from the actual results, what are you looking for in terms of process here down the final 7 games, potentially leading into the playoffs?
It's very simple. It's very simple. I think we all recognized the magnitude of each game and the urgency with which we have to play each game. I think once you get to the playoffs, anybody who's been there, and we have a bunch of guys that have won championships and a bunch of guys that have made deep playoff runs, the urgency you have to play with on each possession, that's what's exhausting about the playoffs. It's a mental, physical, and emotional toll because you have to be locked in on every single possession. Not to say that good teams aren't locked in 90% of the possessions in the regular season, but we've got to do that over these next 8 games. We've got to build our playoff mentality, and it's got to be tonight because this team in particular, they're really good, they're really physical, they're really athletic, they're big. And what they've done throughout the season is they've beat you up by winning the possession battle. They're the best offensive rebounding team in the league by a large margin. They turn you over, they get deflections, they get steals, they get out in transition. They're typically winning the scoring opportunity battle every night. I think they're number 5 in the NBA. And they do that by valuing each possession and being intense and physical on each possession.
All right, guys, there's J.J. Redick talking about this Rockets team that has won 12 of 13 games. Now, most of those wins came against opposition that was under 500. Exception in terms of the teams that are there qualifying for the playoffs, just Orlando, who's number 7 over in the East. But, as J.J. said, they're playing some really good basketball nonetheless on both ends, and that switching scheme that they can employ with all their big athletes on the wing can be an issue for offenses. So we'll see how the Lakers solve that problem tonight.
All right, thank you so much, Mike. Good work. JJ was asked about the intensity down the stretch, and everyone feels it as you jockeying for position, James and Rob, and you guys have all been a part of it. And just that sense of urgency that kind of starts about now. It's not playoff time, but it certainly is close, right?
It is. And the closer you get to it, you know, you start to kind of see where you're going to be as far as what we just talked about, the seedings. You know, it's a time where coaches start to think about, you know, if players need rest, if you sit guys out, you know, you kind of figure out where you want to be in the standings. And you have to start getting prepared, man, because that's when the second season starts. And there's no room for all the irregulars that you may have had in preseason. So each game is so important. And, I mean, obviously health is important, but you have to be connected, ready, and you have to give up a lot of other stuff when playoffs start. You know, even your family sometimes you have to take back seat. You know, it's because you need those days to rest and stay focused.
Yeah, that's a great point. Rob, listen, all jokes aside, I mean, everyone used to say, at least when you're Lakers, you know, playoffs are here. Robert always he's going to ball out. Really, though, honestly, when did you really mentally start to get ready for the playoffs?
When the playoffs got ready to start.
Yeah.
You know, and it's for me, it's like you have to be able to like have regular season mind and postseason mind.
They're just different.
Yeah, they're just different because, you know, you